Ross.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and I want to thank the Secretary of State for her statement, and I want to associate my honourable and right honourable friends with the tributes that have been paid to David Black for his work over many years in protecting and defending the community in Northern Ireland, and our thoughts and prayers are with his dear wife Yvonne and his children Kyle and Kyra at this devastating time of personal loss for them. And Mrs Black's brave and courageous words calling for no retaliation stand in stark contrast to the blackness in the hearts of her husband's murderers. And our thoughts are also with Mr Black's colleagues in the prison service. This was a despicable and callous act of terrorism, as the Secretary of State and others have said, and it's all the more appalling because of its total and utter futility and pointlessness in the wider context of Northern Ireland. And across Northern Ireland there is a united coming together in a common stand against these men of evil. And as the Secretary of State has said, it is essential that people with information, particularly in the Lurgan area, give that information to the police and help the police track down these murderers and bring them to justice. And will the Secretary of State confirm that she will give whatever resources are necessary to the Chief Constable in his battle against dissident terrorists and others in Northern Ireland who want to destabilise the province and bring us back to the dark days of the past? And will she also give a reassurance to the individual members of the security forces and prison service at this time of terrible concern and worry that they may have, that they will get all the protection that they need, and whatever resources need to be given to the police to do that will be given? And finally, Mr Deputy Speaker, will the Secretary of State also urgently review the threat level assessment right across the United Kingdom in light of this terrible event?
Secretary of State.
I very much welcome the Right Honourable Member's reference to the comments made by Mrs Black through their local minister, making it very clear that she didn't want any form of retaliation, and I think that was a courageous and an entirely right statement to make. That sort of activity would be to play into the hands of the people who would drag Northern Ireland back to the past. And I think it is a message that should go out loud and clear from this House, as it has done from the people most tragically affected by the incident. I can assure the Right Honourable Member that the Government will continue to bear down hard on terrorism. It continues to be our highest priority to protect our citizens, and we will continue to devote the appropriate resources to enable the Police Service of Northern Ireland and its partners to continue their excellent work in protecting people in Northern Ireland. And as to the security specifically of prison officers, I know that this is something that the Police Service in Northern Ireland take exceptionally seriously. As I said in response to the comments of the Shadow Secretary of State, it is vital that any appropriate lessons are learned in relation to the security of prison officers, and I'm sure that the police service and the prison service will be looking carefully, once the facts are established in relation to this tragedy, as to whether any changes need to be made. In relation to the overall threat level in relation to Northern Ireland relating terrorism in the United Kingdom, those threat levels remain under constant review. If there is any need to change them at any time, that is an assessment the security services will make. So I can reassure him that we remain vigilant, and if there is a need to amend the threat level either in Northern Ireland or in Great Britain, then those changes will be made.